Hey gang, hope everyone's doing well again. Here we are, end of week 7 for the wrap up. I really love this stuff. I think it's a great way. Actually, probably wish it was week 8 because I think it does a nice job of really bringing everything around. At least for me, it does. Even though we've talked a lot about regional interdependence, even this furthering the discussion on these topics and really hammering it home and making sure that everybody understands the value in this and that it really does have significant value. So, getting into it. So, with the Wayner stuff, there are multiple research articles from case studies, case series, all the way up to RCTs, proving that there really is something to that. Multiple body parts support this model. This isn't just a elbow. This isn't just a shoulder. This isn't just a cervical spine. This is basically tip to toe, right? That we need to be thinking about this. And so even though this is just an upper quarter class, obviously this pertains to the lumbar spine, this pertains to the hip and the knee and the ankle, and you'll have to look further about ways in which you can find that regional interdependence model, because it's great that we are pointing these out to you. And if you've had lower quarter, if you've had lumbopelvic, you've already been kind of guided that. But if you haven't, begin to think about the body and how you can work the two joint rule in many different ways. So we got two joint evaluation the first 2 visits. That's the goal. In the Suki article regarding the regional interdependence model, one of the comments that I found to be most enlightening is that this statement: patients' primary musculoskeletal symptoms may be directly or indirectly related to influence by impairments from various body regions and systems, regardless of a proximity to the primary symptom. In an expansion of the regional interdependence model, they talk about somatovisceral, neurophysiologic, musculoskeletal, biopsychosocial. And so I'm going to flip to this chart. And so this whole, and they label it as an evolving model. This was in the presentation, but if you look in the Suki article, it was also there. It was in different colors, but it was the same thing. And I've said this to a couple of different people in a number of the different posts, but in my mind, regional interdependence is from the minute you enter the treatment room to the minute you leave, from the handshake you give and the empathy that you display to the techniques that you use, whether it's 2 joints above or 2 joints below, the psychosocial aspects, the biopsychosocial aspects of you listening, you giving them confidence and knowing that you've heard them, that they've been known and understood, giving them that trust. That whole thing, I think we can wrap it up into motivational interviewing, we can wrap it up into patient-centered care, but ultimately the regional interdependence and the impact that your treatment has comes from the artistry that is the dance that evolves into that 30 minutes or 45 minutes or hour-long appointment that you have with them. And the impact that everything that you want to be impactful is heightened by your interactions with them. Excuse me. And so be mindful of that everything that you do, every word you say, every instruction you give has a impact on their thought process about what is wrong, what they're doing, how you're going to be interacting with them, and do they depend on you to fix them, or are you part of their journey, their guide along this journey, and how they view you, how your words impact their healing process, your confidence level. I shared with people words that heal, words with harm, or words that harm, understanding those, understanding your body reactions. And so this is such an important aspect of it. It's so much more than just, well, if I manipulate thoracic spine, neck pain gets better, or shoulder feels better, or maybe elbow feels better. It goes so much more beyond that, and do be thinking along those lines. I tried to, because it seemed like a lot of people focused on the mechanical and the neurophysiologic, but understand that biopsychosocial aspect is such a big deal. Okay, so in the Strunk article, it's a great article, and revealed that 1 or more thoracic spine and/or rib dysfunctions exists with subjects with shoulder pain. So hopefully you're treating thoracic spine, right? And we've already I've certainly shown that Strunk article to other people. They had a 51% reduction in pain after 1 treatment of just not even targeting the shoulder. And I think it was Angel who had talked about a patient who had neck issues as a result of some shoulder pain, and was confused the patient was confused as to why one would look at the shoulder, at the neck in relationship to the shoulder. And so, taking the time to explain, taking the time to help them understand and perhaps show them is really important. And if they get it, great. And if they don't, then you have to come at it from different ways so that you meet them where they're at. Because really it's not, it's not about them, or not, it's not about you, rather, it's about them. And it doesn't matter if they don't get it, or if the way you explain it, then you have to come at it a different way. And so be appreciative of that. The Wayner's presentation, the 5 studies for C-tree treatment for neck pain, 2 studies for cervical thoracic treatment for shoulder pain, 4 studies of cervical thoracic treatment for lateral epicondylalgia. Within the first 2 visits, screen upper quarter. Within the first 3 to 4 visits, treat primary findings in the entire upper quarter to determine potential immediate effects on symptoms and function. Do this and be diligent, but also remember the words you use, they are impactful. So my 2 cents, understand that regional interdependence involves more than just treating above and below. Regional interdependence is about the dance that we do from the minute we see them to the minute they leave. And it is a powerful, powerful tool. And so much goes into that. And as a young therapist, if you are that, understand that how you react to people is a big deal. And if you get that right out of the gates, you're so much more ahead of the game than a lot of people. So be mindful of that. Lastly, we have group projects are due on Monday. I've already received one, and I look forward to reading the rest of them, of you guys breaking it down, essentially figuring out what's going on with this patient, coming up with a plausible plan, and understand that there are going to be different paths. And as long as you have a plausible explanation for why you took the path that you took, don't worry if somebody else takes a different path. Again, it's about plausibility, right? Is this a reasonable approach? So, and then engage others, right? You need to engage other groups, read what other people did and how they did it and why they did it. See if they came up with yours. What route did they take? And look at both the exercise as well as the intervention. Maybe speak to language. Ask them, how would you have explained this to a patient? That could be, engage in that conversation about approach and interaction. Because for some of these things, it's really important. We're heading into the overhead athlete and common sports related injuries. So that's going to be, I think, obviously everybody likes to talk about that stuff. It's a great way to finish the week 8. Finish strong, don't tail off. I know everybody's, you've been doing 7 weeks, and some of you have been rolling for a couple of different courses in a row. So this may be week 15 for you essentially. And so you're probably getting kind of tired, and you'll be glad it's done. And all I ask is that you finish strong, you get on the board, you give good, thoughtful posts, you engage your other learners for the last time. And so I look forward to reading all this, look forward to reading the group projects, look forward to hearing what you have to say for these sports-related injuries, and look forward to week 8, because I think it's a fun topic, and most people really enjoy speaking there. So have a great end of your weekend, and again, if there are any questions or concerns, let me know. Take good care. Otherwise, bye-bye.